Hey everyone, hope you guys are enjoying Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak in whichever platform you're choosing to play it on. And today what we're going to be going over is the latest Max Charm skills and slots table that's become available after the 15.00 patch. Remember that the two new melding options, Vigor and Cyclist, have been introduced. Therefore, brand new Talisman options, brand new Charm options have become available. And everyone is wondering just what the best skills that are available for each one of the Vigor and Cyclist options are. And more importantly, how many deco slots you can get for your Charm. So essentially, what are the best chances for you to be able to get the God Charm that you want with the most amount of max skill? So first and foremost, huge and massive shout out to DTL Noir for putting up their continual chart. They have been doing this pretty much since the base launch of Rise. They continued it to Sunbreak. Link in the description below for you guys to check out the latest version of the Charm, where not only does it have the old versions of the original Charms, but of course now the new ones with Vigor and Cyclist. So I should be overlaying the entire image on the screen here. There's a lot to take in if you haven't necessarily seen this image before, but we're going to be breaking everything down one by one. So first and foremost, everything is basically tiled up, so you have a very good understanding as to what it is. But look at the upper side of the table where you get to see the ID. That would be the number of the skill name, which is really important. The grade of the skill means how valuable that skill is. So S tier skills are the most valuable ones. A tier skills are secondary. B skills are pretty good. C tier and below, there used to be a D tier, I believe, but now they've removed it altogether. Everything is C tier. You're going to notice that they do not appear as part of Vigor and Cyclist Charms. So C skills, for the most part, will not be. Some of them do appear, but not most of them. Most of the other ones do not appear at all. Then you get to see the skill max level that just tells you what the max amount of slots for be able to max out that skill. For example, attack boost has 7 empty slots. Therefore, you need to max. And in order for you to fill out those slots, you need to be able to get 7 of those to have it maxed out. Then the first skill max level, that basically means if you're using Vigor, for example, look on the bottom left side of the screen, you should be able to see that it says Vigor and Cyclist. Those are the two separate tables. Vigor, for example, starts at after the first skill is usually empty. The second one will have a max 2 slot, but I believe that's actually inaccurate. It's supposed to be +4, and I've seen people even say that there's +5 attack available through Vigor. The second skill max showcases if attack boost appears as the second skill in your Talisman or Charm. Therefore, those are the values that it's going to have. And Cyclist repeats the same thing again. And then a brand new number that appears. That entire green row, some of them are arrows, some of them are green than others, have a number value. I believe is that the higher the number value is, the more common that skill will appear. The lower that number is, the harder that value skill, so essentially that skill for it to appear through like the RNG. Keep in mind that the yellow ones means the 0. Those are not going to appear at all through Vigor and Cyclist. Those skills have been removed specifically from this table. You should already have access to those through the original Talisman, crafting options. So essentially on the left side, you have the entire list of like the a little bit more older skills that have been available through the base game. Starting in the middle right side of the table, you should be able to see a lot of like gray slots for skills that simply are not available. And as you move your way to the bottom of the middle row, you get to see the darker like black type of skills. Those are the newer ones. And all the way at the bottom, you're going to notice that, for example, some of the newer skills, Bloodlust, Dereliction, Furious, Male Hellfire, I believe Guts, Build Up Boost, Berserk, Strife, Wind Mantle, Power Mantle, Frostcraft, and Dragon Conversion will only ever be available through the Vigor option. You cannot select those through Cyclist if you wish to craft them in that manner. So all that is to say that basically the newer skills and certainly some of the more highly sought after skills after the most recent patch will not be available through Cyclist. They will only be available through Vigor. Cyclist, remember, lets you choose the skill that you want for it to be able to be crafted. However, Vigor is all RNG. You're going to be able to get any of the other skills that are, of course, are kind of showcased here, but Cyclist lets you choose. And the last tier of skills from the newer ones that you get to choose through Cyclist are things like Embolden, Intrepid Heart, Status Trigger, Defiance, Element Exploit, Adrenaline Rush, Sneak Attack, things of that nature. Blood Right, which is really good. Dragon Heart, of course. And of course, all the Elder Dragon's Blessings, Kushala, Teostra, and Chameleos, even Burst. But of course, things like Frostcraft, Dragon Conversion, Strife, Berserk, Wind Mantle, Power Mantle, those skills are not going to be an option for you to be able to select them through Cyclist. So they are only going to appear in charms. They can even be maxed out on the first skill if they happen to appear on the first skill or two skills, if you get them luckily enough. But they are only gonna appear through Vigor. Now, if you look on the third little short table on the right side, upper right side of the screen, you should be able to see the percentages for the decoration slots. So first and foremost, these percentages are for both Vigor and Cyclist. There's no more differences. Like, for example, before, you used to have a difference between, I believe it was Aurora and the other option, but now that's completely changed. I believe Anima and Reincarnation and then Aurora had different, like, maxed out numbers. That is no longer the case. What you're going to end up having here is that pretty much Vigor and Cyclist are based on the percentages. So you have the odds, 2%, 2%, 5%, 6%, 11%, and then the combination. Any of these are available. So 2%, you can get a 411. That is the most you can get. 411 if you're after a 4-slotted decoration, or 331 if you're after a 3-slotted decoration. Of course, you can get any combination lower than that. So 410, 400, 321, 311, all of those are options. 222 are also an option. 410, all of those are options. You can even get 330, but you cannot get something like 421 or 422 or 432, anything like that. That's just simply not an option whatsoever. And you, of course, on the left side of that little table, you have the percentages. So essentially, if you're after that, really amazing Dragon Conversion or Frostcraft, for example, and you wanted to have a 411, and then maybe the second skill, maybe you want Frostcraft 3 and then Power Mantle 2 as your secondary skill, and you wanted to max out at a 411, well, not only do you have to roll those two skills and max them out on their very own numbers, which are, remember, the inner weight, essentially the chances of them showing up, they have their own values internally. They're pretty high. They're 4 already. So they're like the hardest ones to get because they are A-tier skills. And on top of that, you only have a 2% chance to be able to get either a 411 or a 331 or a 222 or a 410, which is now a 5%. So essentially, God Charms are still God Charms. You're still going to be able to find them, but boy, they're going to be hard to find. So certain skills appear in Cyclist. Most skills, if not all skills, except the really mediocre bad skills, C-tier skills, like, the resistances and, things of that nature, Affinity Sliding, Horror Maestro, skills that usually were not Botanist, things of that nature, will no longer be appearing in these charms. However, every other skill with some type of value will appear, but of course, the tables have been a little bit reworked. So that's certainly all the information that I wanted to cover in this video. Once again, huge and massive shout out to DTL Noir for posting their newest table. Now, I'm sure some people will say that the table has actually been unfinished, but it does give us a pretty good idea as to what it is that we can expect. Minor changes will be happening maybe in a later video. I will be covering just what it is that it can be possible. But remember, things like, I believe, Frenzied Bloodlust and Heaven Sent from Amatsu and Risen Shagaru Magala's armor, those skills will never appear in charms, at the very least right now. Things like Quick Breath and Shock Absorber, which are decoration unique skills, also do not appear through the current Talisman options. Of course, they are, when it comes to Quick Breath and Shock Absorber, they're unique and they're on their own as decorations. And of course, the latest Frenzied Bloodlust, and Heaven Sent from Amatsu and Risen Shagaru Magala have their very own, armors. So as of right now, they're not going to appear. Chances are maybe after the 6th free title update, or bonus update as they're calling it, of course, the table will get updated, and of course, we'll be able to see just some of those new, skills. And presumably, of course, EX Max Zeno is going to have his own armor and his own unique skill, and that will get added, presumably, on his own. Curious Crafting options, however, is the next video that I wanted to tackle and pretty much cover all the skills that are going to be available through that as well. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!